Hey guys, welcome back! My favorite people on the whole wide internet. Today we're back to Slime Rancher, ranching slimes. And I got a little bit more things set up about what we need to do today. Today's objective is, remember how I mentioned we have to feed people in this game? Like, you don't actually have to. It's quite horrific in practicality. But we're gonna try to get a garden set up, and we're going to try to hoard a bunch of guys. So I went out, I got a bunch of pink plorts. We're gonna cash all that in, get some big cash money. And I got these pink slimes. We're gonna drop them off in the thing. And what we need, what we want, is to, one, get a vegetable garden. Guys, see how useless that thing is? They just fly right out. And we want to make this super high so they won't just hop out like that. $350. Okay, we're gonna hold off on cashing in on the tabbies and the rock slimes because we want to take advantage of the high price of quartz when we first. Oh god, hungry little bugger. There's nothing for you there. You only eat chickens. Also, that's the secondary objective. Let us not bring any chickens to this place so that the tabbies don't accidentally eat and create tabby plorts, which will give us a bunch of largos and turn into this whole giant crossbred mess. Yeah. So right now we're just gonna try to get like a sustainable system set up. We're gonna get a bunch of veggies. We're gonna get a regular source of income for these guys. Maybe a plort harvester. So we don't have to try to like pick these out between the slimes, which I personally find super duper annoying. And that's the game plan, right? So first we fed them, we got some plorts. I think it might be enough to get us a garden, but probably not enough for the high walls, because it looks like we're gonna need 350. And we're gonna enjoy these high prices of pink plorts while we can, man. Look at it, it's already crashed by like $2. It's down to $9. It's down to $9. We're not gonna be able to be riding this massive pink plort high as far as we can. Now, each one of these different guys, they have different dietary needs. We're lucky with the pink ones because they'll eat literally anything, much like myself. That's not true. I'm picky as hell. Okay, we got the garden there. So they're a good starter, man, because like any kind of food we get, they'll be fine with. And that'll help us isolate the blue rock slimes and the tabbies, because the blue ones, they'll only eat vegetables, unlike myself, and the tabbies will only eat meat. Meat's really hard to get a lot on a sustainable level. You could have a whole bunch of chicken coops and still not be getting consistent meat. Alright. So I think we'll be safe hoarding tabbies. One of the more horrifying aspects of this game is that you can just put like a ton of these guys in one of those pens, just like have it jam-packed, wall-to-wall, ceiling-to-ceiling with slimes, and then you could just never feed them. They don't actually die if you don't feed them, which is kind of horrifying. They just exist in this perpetual starving stasis, which is what we might wind up doing with the cat slimes. Yeah. Until we have a whole bunch of them, and then we can feed a bunch of them, get a bunch of plorts, drop it in the thing, make a ton of money at once. Was that a present? That's a mistake. Why would you give me a present? I'm the one setting up these horrible conditions for these fine creatures. But yeah, that's our mission on this. Oh, we got a quicksilver ornament? That's new. I don't really know what that does. I guess we'll just drop it off in town and see if something cool's happened. I feel like you're in a little bit of a race every time you come to a new area too, to like get to the guys before they actually eat. Okay, so I guess we're not picking up blues. I gotta give up something. We're just gonna... No, let's not toss the slimes. I just don't think we're gonna find a lot of food this run. I don't want to give up that quicksilver ornament because it's kind of rare. I want to see what it does. I guess we'll just go home and drop off some plorts. Hey! And get our carrot garden going. No, we can't do the carrots because the rock slimes might escape their pen. So that's like the one real kind of danger to not feeding slimes, is that they'll kind of like revolt a little bit. So they'll just get harder to handle. Some are pretty easy to handle, but like later on you get ones that explode and they'll actually like blow themselves sky high and they'll get out of the pen that way. And then they'll just go to whatever food's around. I'm gonna Yeah, we're gonna hold off. So I don't want to put carrots there because then the rock slimes will try to escape when they're starving to go eat our entire patch of food. What we want them to do is just to feel kind of hopeless. I gotta stop talking about this in such dystopian terms. Even though it kind of really is a dystopian. Okay, once we drop off this Quicksilver ornament, I guess we could just hang it on something? Let's hang it out in our favorite little pink eye place. Yeah, you're cool. You're chill. I don't know, I feel like it's a slime in disguise, man. Oh, right, we got a whole bunch more of these guys to drop off. And also, you can just kind of like hoard these guys. It's a little tricky with the low walls because they'll stack and then they can jump over the wall, like you see them kind of doing there. But whatever. As long as they're not eating things and dropping off plorts and the other pens, we'll be fine. I guess I've never really masked them this big before. That's one thing that just kind of bothered me in this game, because I feel like there should be consequences for like not feeding your slimes, at least more substantial ones. Like, you could just not hoard a group, and that way they won't ever hit like a critical mass where they can actually escape. So like with the explosive ones, if you only have like 5 of them, there'll never like be enough explosions to send them flying that far and that high. So you'll probably be fine. Alright, here we go. So this is what I was talking about, like when you get to an area, you kind of have to race to the food to get it before the slimes there eat it themselves, and then just drop plorts all over the place. What we're gonna want with our garden there, so the way the garden works is you put like a fruit or vegetable and then it grows whatever you insert into the thing. We want our thing growing fruit, so the blue slimes won't be tempted to get out and eat all the stuff. And we're gonna wait to really start feeding the blue ones so we can get that massive influx of cash and just drop it all on the market at once while the value's high. Boy, being much more literal today, aren't we? Well, it's a game, and I want to win. Not that there's really winning, I guess. I guess we got enough pink slimes. Let's empty this so we can get some of the blue ones and really stock up on what we got going on here. If they'll stop, you know, bashing me in the face, am I right? Okay, there's another blue one. Yoink. Get some of them carrots. Yeah, that's the video game. Some of the blue guy. We're already getting some decent money. It's gonna be a little tough for me to resist just like feeding the blue ones immediately, because like it would be nice to get like a huge influx of cash so we can just build the high walls on the pink bin so we can just hoard them and such. But once we have like a regular source of food, we should be able to get like a massive like plort load from these guys. Okay, so we're kind of full up on 2 of our slots for food here, so I think it's a good time to go back. And we got these pink plorts to get some quick cash to help us get it set up. So we got our garden. We'll drop some pogo fruit in there. This next batch of plorts will get us enough to build the high wall. And then really the only real incentive to feed anybody in this game is, oh shit, okay. Every now and then you find a gold one, and their plorts are super expensive. Looks like we missed with all of our foodstuffs. I'm kind of disappointed, but say love you. But yeah, the plorts from one of the gold ones is worth like $365. It's like huge, right? You can't capture them, which I thought was a little sad. I think it'd be cool if maybe one day they would insert some kind of way to actually like raise the gold ones, but that would probably make them less special. But I don't know, I think it'd be a neat like in-game thing. So let's drop off some more pink plorts. The values adjust at the end of the day. Yeah, you can see them really like hopping high now. They're kind of getting upset. And we're probably making things a little risky by putting more blue guys in there, but you know what? The more of them we hoard, the quicker we can get to the point where we can just cash in massively. But yeah, really, the only incentive to actually feed these guys is when you want something from them, when you want money, which is what we're doing right here. In fact, I'm feeling kind of lazy. I don't feel like parsing through all that stuff to get the plorts. So we're probably going to opt for the plort gatherer before getting the high walls, which would actually help isolate them, popping out like that guy just did. but it'll make getting the plorts out of there way easier. So let's see, plort collector for 500. Ah, we don't have enough money. Okay, we're gonna have to parse through it once. You'll see how annoying this is. I guess since we have like an empty inventory, technically we just suck up all the pink slimes and then spit them back out really quickly. Okay, 18, 19. See, we got way more than 20, which is our limit for holding in here. Oh god, see? More hunger guys, so desperate to get something. But if he gets in there, then it'll be just nothing but these massive, large guys inside the pink guy spot. Man. And, you know, you've seen, like, you can only move them one at a time, so they're really hard to corral back in there if you have a ton of them. Plus, like, once one large guy's in there, since he makes plorts of both types, everyone in there is going to turn into largos, because they'll just eat, like, his poop. Okay, so we got a plort collector. We'll activate that, and I'll suck them all up, nice and easy. You see, great way to hold more than the 20 that we can hold at once. You want to be careful about those guys here. We can store them temporarily in here. Oh, also, that's another real danger. You can't just let plorts sit around in there, because that's slimes eat plorts. So even if we keep fruit and like chickens out of this whole area, the tabbies still might want to hop in there just so they can eat the plorts, because that'll satiate them through their starvation. So that's the real reason to feed these guys, like in some kind of grim dystopian way. It's just a way to keep them like controlled and like not rowdy. See, he's gonna probably try to hop in there. Nope. Let's get them plorts up. So only feed them when you want something from them. If the others aren't very well contained. We don't have to worry about the tabbies wandering around the ranch because they only eat chickens. So they won't find any food around here. Let's see. You can see our gardens growing. Soon we'll have a regular source of food, which means a regular source of money, and then we can start building up the things that help contain these guys. But right now, I think we gotta do another food run. I think we're good on pink slimes, especially until we have them better contained. Once we have the high walls, then we should be able to really jam them in there. And then the truly ideal situation is to put a ceiling on there, so then they really can't get out. But I think we can still gather some of the rare ones while we're waiting for our thing to become more sustainable. It really does bother me that you can't get like a sustainable level of chickens, because that means you can't really sustain a high population of carnivorous slimes, especially if you want to have like multiples of different carnivorous slimes. It feels like you can only choose one. At a certain point, you can unlock this area where you can kind of like have slimes in a free range capacity. Let's get rid of that pink guy because we want you guys. That's what we need to board right now. Let's get rid of this pink board. That way we can grab some tabbies that we see in. Maybe we should, nah, I think chickens are too risky to bring back home right now. So the phosphorus guy, like you just saw right there, oh, there's a tabby. That'd be good to get into the pens. The phosphorus guys are not bothering with them right now. They're probably the highest cash value slimes at the beginning of the game, because they're kind of rarer and they're harder to maintain. They're only nocturnal, so they'll... Oh, God. Looks like we're gonna really have to beat these guys to the punch before they eat everything. Yeah, you can see the plorts are a sign that they've already had a ton of food over here. What was I saying? I don't even remember. Yeah, the phosphorus ones. There's great potential to make a lot of money with them because they're hard to maintain. So since they only pop out at night and they disappear with the daytime, what you need to do is put like a night shroud on them or just hold them in the grotto. And the grotto's fine because it's like a cave, it's always dark. Looks like we found as much food as we're going to be able to get out here. I'm not seeing much else. So we're not going to bother with the phosphoruses for a while until we got enough money to really set up a situation that they'll really benefit from. Yeah. And they only want fruits, so they're kind of riskier as well. I'm not really seeing a lot of carrots anymore. There might just not be that much food until daybreak. So there's an option to like sleep in your house till the next day. I never really used it that much. it makes this big warning about like don't go out at night, it's dangerous. But like you saw the tar slime's last video, like they're not actually that dangerous. They look intimidating, they look kind of scary, and they make some scary music, but they're not actually gonna do much to you, man. You can kind of just ignore them. Really, the biggest reason to stop the tar slimes more than anything to me is that I just feel bad about all these cute little blob guys just getting gobbled up. Right? You know, they need a buddy. Which is weird for me to say as I just hoard them in these pens and leave them to starve. Look at the tabbies just made a run for it. They're probably still around somewhere. We just gotta make sure they don't get to any of the forts in here. Alright. So a bunch of food in there, we gather all it up. If you don't, you get back in there. Son of a... He's making a run for it. Once we have that high wall, we can really start boarding these guys. Although, really, more than anything, oh god, these forts are dangerous. Nope, we gotta stop you before you get to the floor, so okay. Put a few in there, and then we'll suck them back in here. Oh, so these things won't be stuck lying around and exposed to whatever rambunctious, rebellious little slime guy wants to get to them. But once we cast these in, we won't even have to worry about the rebellious ones, because the wall will just be too high for them to even jump into, even if they want to be. The high walls, you might be thinking, hey, why don't we put them on like the tabby ones? They can jump super high, and that way they can't get out. But, you know, as long as we don't keep anything they can eat in the area, we'll be fine if they hop out of the pen, really. Cool. We got a high wall, stop that. Yeah, you see they're really running for it. Also, they're kind of skeezy because they'll, like, drag food around. They just like to carry things around because they're cats and they're just, like, curious. So that's another thing you gotta worry about the tabbies. And that means sometimes they'll drag food over to somewhere that could be dangerous. Alright. So I think that's pretty good. We got the high wall, so I think we're pretty good. As long as we're only feeding the pink slimes right now, this place can't fall apart. Alright, looks like we can get one more batch of quartz by harvesting our food tree, which is now in decent production. And I guess we should start thinking about a next set of upgrades. Like, what's the next thing? What's going to get our farm in good condition and more sustainable, bringing in regular cash monies? Now that we got regular income set up with our garden and our well-contained pink slime... Shit! Okay, see, that's what we're worried about. I don't know what that dude ate. But we already got this massive guy out here, man. Oh, my gosh, so that's cool. So we just don't want things getting out of control. So we're gonna get rid of this dude. Maybe a chicken wandered in somehow. Actually, let's get the plort collector going. Yeah. So, we'll be able to get some regular money, and that means we can start investing some stuff. And so, I don't know. We'll figure out what to do. I'll let you know what we're going to do on the next video. I guess that's enough for now. In the meantime, I'm going to cash in these pink little crystal gems. And we'll have some money to start making some decisions with. I guess we can really start focusing on, like, holding more guys somewhere. I'm really kind of nervous about these tabbies. You know, we probably really shouldn't waste time on the tabbies right now. Not until we open up the area where you can just get tons of chickens all the time, any day you want. Right, but you see how much money you get from a tabby? 28. That being said, the rock slimes are just as valuable and they're a lot easier to get right now. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out. I guess this is getting into a more serious vibe. I've been doing a couple Let's Plays before this, so I'm feeling a little gassed out. So sorry if you want a little more high energy thing, but yeah, whatever. I'm gonna try not to focus too much on that stuff. I just want to have some fun. I just like playing games, and I think it's cool to share this stuff with you guys. And I think it's important to think about when you're making something, like, why are you making it, right? And, you know, I think making things for yourself is... It always has to be some part of it. It's always got to be some aspect of it. At least, if you're not good enough to make money on it. which for most people, you know, they'll never get to that point if they're not doing it for themselves, at least at some point in their life. Not that I want to be a YouTube Let's Player, but I'm just saying. It's good to do things for yourself sometimes. See y'all next time. I hope y'all want to keep hanging out with me here on the internet. I'll just be here ranching slimes. Ciao.